Hey everybody, welcome to the Gaming X and welcome to this week's What to Pick Up on the Switch and, well, what to skip. If you are new to the channel, then maybe consider hitting subscribe if you like today's video. We're getting closer to that 1,000 subscriber milestone, and it's thanks to people like you who are supporting these smaller YouTube channels. We really do appreciate it. What we do is we'll have reviews all throughout the week for a ton of Nintendo Switch reviews and news. With that being said, let's jump into this week. So this week we have 16 releases coming to the Switch. Now the majority of these, well in fact 15 of these are eShop drops, except one. But what should you go out and pick up? Well, we have 5 recommendations this week, 2 honourable mentions and 2 absolutely skip till you see reviews this week. Fortunately, we will be reviewing 7 of these and doing 1 giveaway on this channel. So why don't you let us know in the comments below, what are you going to be picking up this week, or did we miss something? Let us know. So first, let's get the obvious title out of the way. Outlast 2 is releasing on March the 27th, and this is just a few weeks following the release of the first game. This is one that I'm really hoping to see a physical release with both games included. This really does mark a different direction for Nintendo, a time where censorship and family friendly is no longer the case, and I absolutely love it right now. The first port just a few weeks back, it was incredible. It took me by surprise just how good the first one not only played but looked, and this one, having played it before, I know it steps everything up. I'll be honest, I'm actually currently working on a review from a code the developers supplied to me, and I've literally maybe started it up for just a few minutes, but the graphics are just wow. These trailers, they're not lying to you, it really does look that good. So in Outlast 2, you'll be taking on the role of Blake Langerman, a cameraman working alongside his wife Lynn, your investigative journalists. You'll follow a trail of clues around the murder of a pregnant woman known only as Jane Doe. Now set in the Arizona desert, and I actually live in Arizona, so this gets extra creep points for me. This is everything from the first game dialed to 100. So I've played this previously and I already know it's not as good as the original, but it's still a fantastic game. Yes, granted it's got some issues, but this should be an easy add for any horror game fans out there. Our review will be live the morning of release, March 27th at 9 AM PST. Then our only physical release of the week, Atelier Lydie and Sewell, The Alchemists and the Mysterious Paintings. It's one hell of a title, and I probably butchered how you're supposed to say that one, but this is priced at $59.99 and releasing simultaneously across consoles. So for those that might not have heard of this one before, this actually marks the 20th anniversary of the series. They've released an absolute ton of games here, and they're really well loved. Favourable reviews, 4 past titles, as well as Famitsu reviewing this one with a 35 out of 40. It suggests we've got another great JRPG making its way to the Switch. My only concern with this title, I will admit, is that this is the concluding chapter of a trilogy story. So how well will this game handle getting us up to speed? Will we be able to jump into the story and walk away with a generally enjoyable experience, shall we say? This one, it has a strong focus on alchemy gameplay alongside more traditional JRPG elements, which is something I personally really love. For me, this might be the game to fill the hole since completing Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm excited for this one, and I really do think you should be too. Next, we have The Adventures of Bertram Fiddle, Episode 1, A Deadly Business, releasing March 29th. And it seems that we've got some lengthy titles coming out this week. Priced at just $4.99, this one is getting the recommendation from us for adventure game fans out there. This is a point-and-click Switch title that started life on Steam and cell phones, but it's got a real unique graphical style, so much in fact that I'm going to ignore the cell phone history here. A beautifully unique art style, full voice acting, 30 locations to explore, a dark sense of humour, and a wealth of positive reviews on Steam suggest this one is worth checking out. It's nice to see with this one as well, it's not much, but we even get a lower price point at $4.99. On Steam, this one's currently going for $5.99 with a few more episodes already out. But I am curious to see, with any adventure point and click game, how are they handling the controls here? Are we going to be controlling a cursor? Is it going to be free movement? Time will tell. But I think we can expect good things here. Our review will be live March 29th. Next we have Outlast. And this one, it's been getting mixed reviews, at least for other consoles. The general consensus seems to be that it's got some great platforming elements, but it brings little personality. Why am I recommending this one in that case? Well, we're going to go into that now. Taking on a role in the afterlife, you died, but your soul is still here. It's a piece of light energy trapped within a cube, and this is where I can see the personality is probably lacking. It's a hardcore 2D platformer with physics, gravity and logic thrown in to test the most hardened, with 2 parallel worlds where you can actually jump between them to change the gameplay. With fantastic titles in the library currently, such as The End Is Nigh and Run Gun Jump Gun, this could be an easy miss for most. But, and it's a big but, this is priced at just $4.49. We honestly think this one will be worth the investment, and if you are unsure, then you can check back here for our review 2 days before launch on March the 28th. I do feel like with Outlast, because it's aimed towards a more hardcore gamer, those that may have been put off a little bit by that might have stepped back from something like, let's say, The End Is Nigh, which is retailing at about $29.99. So I think this is going to be good for current players. I wouldn't expect it to live up to that level of greatness, but I think it's going to bring in a wealth of new players who just want to simply try out the genre. And priced at $4.49, I think this is really your chance now to jump in there, but not invest too much. So finally, for the week, we have Shadowbug releasing March the 30th for $8.99. And if this one plays as good as the visuals look, we could definitely have a winner here. So what's the story? Save your home forest from the evil factory by slicing monsters to pieces as the ultimate ninja. That, honestly, that's all the story I need. Thank you. Give me the sword. Let me go. Here, you're going to be facing 36 levels, leaderboard for speedruns, which is a nice touch, beautiful visuals, as I've mentioned already, and a total of 6 boss fights. Now, dependent on level length, it seems we have a decent amount of content here. But here's the thing, and this is what I like the most about this idea. There's no jump mechanic. Your main movement is a slash of the sword. It's an interesting concept and it's trying something new. Plus, reviews, they've been generally favourable on the Steam variation. So I'm looking forward to this one. This one should be good. I'm really curious to how this one plays out. We're actually going to be releasing our review of this one though on March the 29th. So if you are curious, then check that out the day before release before you go spending your money. So that's it, that's our top picks for the week. But we do have 2 honourable mentions here that may be worth your time, and they're definitely an acquired taste. This week they both come in the form of puzzle games. Toki Tori, an absolute classic from the Game Boy Color and Wii. Here you'll collect eggs, take on 80 plus levels, rewind time features, and 60 frames per second. Wait a minute. You're telling me that Toki Tori, a game from the Game Boy Color, can handle a conversion to 60 frames per second, but Kirby you can't? I've played this one a number of times before. If you like puzzle games, priced at $4.49, this one's going to be honestly hard to skip. You can expect our review on March the 30th alongside its release, but it's definitely, I will say now, an acquired taste. Then we've got Warp Shift, and I've got to be honest, this one, it was so close, it nearly made the recommended list. Beautiful visuals, an interesting mechanic where you appear to manipulate the environment around the main character, Pi. But I've got some concerns with this one. So first of all, with 5 worlds and 15 levels contained in each, it seems we have a lot of content here. But as I said, the concerns. First, it's a cell phone game, so how well will these graphics scale up? Then the puzzles. What I've seen, it looks largely repetitive in gameplay. Finally, the price point at $9.99, it's $4 more expensive than its cell phone counterpart. So basically, before I give this one a recommendation to anyone, I want to know what separates this from its cell phone counterpart. Why are we paying that $4 extra? Fortunately, we'll be able to tell you on March 26th, the day before release. So that's the positives and the near recommendations. But what should you skip? And when I say skip, I mean wait until you see reviews at least. Well, first, let's start with visual novel dating simulator, and if that hasn't put you off already, the charming Empire. I can say this immediately, I'm definitely the wrong audience for this one. First of all, after some research, I actually found out this was on the iPhone store, and it's already been released with in-app purchases. But it's here advertised as a dating simulator for women. They seem to have skipped to mention this in the eShop, so it's worth noting if you are considering it. Taking on the role of a main Kasaka, this is a tale of betrayal, an empire falling to pieces, and a fate that guides her to romance. If that hasn't put you off already, I honestly don't know what will, but everything about this one stinks. Reviews so far of past releases are pretty damn low, and then on top of this, they're asking $24.99 on the eShop. If you absolutely want a dating sim, then go to your iPhone and check it out there first at least. We won't be reviewing this one, unfortunately. Then we have Spartan. Now, I'll be honest, when I was doing research into this one, I actually didn't mind the look of it. Some solid looking platforming, not the best graphics I've ever seen, but it's taking on a time period I really like in video games, so I was willing to give this one a shot. When I dived into reviews though, what I found was a lot of mystery, shall we say. On the Steam store, these reviews are low. On the PlayStation 4, reviews are low. And on the Xbox One, reviews are low. What was stranger though, was how hard it was to find any reviews at all. Across the Xbox One, I found 1 written review and 2 store reviews, rating it 2 out of 5. On PlayStation 4, I found 2 video reviews and 4 store reviews at 2 out of 5. And then finally, on Steam, it had a mere 2 reviews. A number so low I didn't even know it was honestly possible. I've seen some of the worst games out there with at least 100 or 200 reviews on Steam. So basically, don't be fooled into dropping $11.99 on this one. Wait until some reviews come out on the Switch, and granted, if that's anything to go by, I don't think there's going to be many. Fortunately though, we are going to be covering it here and releasing a video review. We're hoping to have that out for April 1st, the day of release. If not though, worst case, it will be the day after on April the 2nd, and I strongly suggest you wait for that. So what will you be picking up this week? Did we miss something? Let us know in the comments below. We will have 7 new reviews coming this week alone. Be sure to check out some of the reviews we're releasing through the week, and we'll be here next Saturday again with this video for the first week of April. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next Gaming X.